Welcome to Camping World Stadium in Orlando, home of the 2018 FHSAA State Finals. This afternoon, a first-time champ will be crowned in Class 5A. It's the North Marion Colts and the Cardinal Gibbons Chiefs playing for that elusive crown here on Spectrum Sports. North Marion pulling perhaps the biggest upset of the playoffs to get here, sending undefeated Trinity Christian home. The Gibbons Chiefs knocked off two-time defending state champ American Heritage before disposing of Jesuit in the semis. Hi everyone, and thank you for joining us here in this Class 5A state championship. Rishi Barron with former Notre Dame defensive back Preston Jackson. Preston, I don't think a lot of people thought North Marion would be here, a big-time Cinderella, but on the other side, you have a Gibbons team that's been rolling, but playing with its backup quarterback.
Absolutely, could be a team of destiny for the North Marion team. They had a big win against Nature Coast, came back and beat Trinity Christian. Now they're here against Cardinal Gibbons. A lot of teams like, but no quarterback, no starting quarterback for those guys. So what are we going to get? Styles make fights. I like this one, Rishi.
Could be a great game. The Colts are rolling. They've won 9 straight games, and that man, their quarterback, really lit it up against Trinity Christian, Corey Wilshire.
Absolutely, I like Wilshire, man. He's got a strong arm, willing to take risk. Okay, 118 QBR. He takes care of the football. 9 interceptions, but that means he's going to take some shots, and he's got the mustache. He's got to like the guy with the stash.
Works for Aaron Rodgers, number 12 as well.
Absolutely.
On the other side of the field, the Chiefs unbeaten since an 0-2 start. They're led by a 5-star defensive end, Chris Bogle, who got a visit from Alabama head coach Nick Saban this past week.
Man, we're going to see 2 premier defensive ends. This one, Chris Bogle, the other one, Nichols on the opposite side for North Marion. But this young man, he's a basketball player with pads on. He's kind of like a project kid that you can mold, put together, and create a player of your own. So if you want to see defense, you want to see what a premier player looks like, you're going to get it in number 7.
Willie Offord, the head coach at North Marion, a 4-year player for the Minnesota Vikings, former 3rd-round pick. And he's had a lot of great coaches. Lou Holtz at South Carolina taught him motivation. Mike Tomlin, a little swag and youthfulness. And Jim McCool, a Hall of Famer in his own right at Palatka.
Hey, put it all together, man. You get your own melting pot. And we're going to have a good one, man. I like Coach's look. He looks confident. His teams are ready to go, baby.
Spoke with him for a minute before the game. He was confident. On the other side, Matt DeBuck played in the one state championship game that Cardinal Gibbons has been in, the 1990 state final, and it was not the best day for him. The bus broke down. They ended up on the opening kickoff giving up a touchdown, and it rained a lot, but now he has a chance to amend that and do that for his own players that have done so much for them this season.
Absolutely, man. This is it. This is the final game of the season. You got a lot out of them. You want all the hard work to pay off. You want the reward. One team has to win, one team has to lose, but right now it's going to come down to more than just measurements, man. This is a lot of heart, this is a lot of desire. It's a 4-quarter game. I'm excited for this one, man. The kids look good, great uniforms, got the gold helmets and the bright red. Let's rock and roll.
All right, well, North Marion will get the football first. The North Marion team that's averaging 35.2 points per game. They like it to sling, let me say that again, they like to sling it around.
Yeah, they do, man, and the quarterback's going to lay it out there. Kind of got a little Brett Favre to him. Every time a quarterback is risky, we call him Brett Favre. But I think he's a really good quarterback, and I think he stands strong in the pocket, strong arm. He's going to zip that thing.
Jaron Papa Gilmore, who's made huge plays all season long, including last week against Trinity Christian. Among those back there to return. This one's not coming out, though. He'll stay right there, and first chance to get a look at this Colts offense and Corey Wilshire, who is committed to West Florida.
Okay, here we go, Corey. First drive of the game, you're on script. Let's see what the defense is going to give you. Let's see what we can take advantage of. Do we have any advantages? Do we have anybody on defense that we can pick on? So first play, first drive should be a good one. At the very least, let's just see what we can expose of Cardinal Gibbons.
You saw some film of Wilshire. You were watching it earlier today. What stands out?
That he spreads the ball around. He's got a number of receivers, 4 of them with over 400 yards receiving. He can get the ball anyway. Ship's a very talented player. Had a big play last week to beat Trinity Christian. So they come out slinging.
Play action to start. A beautiful throw downfield, and it's caught. And watch him run, nearly breaking it the distance. Unfortunately, coming up little limp in there at the end, but that's a big play to Papa Gilmore.
Papa Gilmore, great ball here by Wilshire. Like I said, he's going to throw that bad boy in the window. He's got to put it in there. You can see on the replay, they're going to sprint out the pocket, throws it on the move, a great hand grab by Gilmore, and then he gets that yak yards after catch.
Waste no time getting to the line of scrimmage. Gilmore with 45 receptions now, 651 yards, is one of their go-to guys. You mentioned they do like to spread it around, so he won't be the only one focused on by Wilshire. They take to the ground here, a broken tackle, but then Lico Gaskin brought down. Joe Lico Gaskin, their big running back with over 1,600 yards, and very balanced attack at the wide receiver position as they get quickly to the line of scrimmage. Second and 8. Jet sweep. And an excellent tackle made by Gibbons. Let's take a look at that North Marion offense. The 4 receivers who will all get a chance to make plays. Jaree Turner, Zach Offord, Jaron Gilmore, and Brendan Shipp. Give you a second look at it there. Shipp, the sophomore, with the game-winning touchdown reception in the last game with 10 seconds left. And on the offensive line, Charles Jones, 2 years ago.
On the defense, still third down.
So that'll give them a little bit better field position. As I said, on the offensive line, Charles Jones, 2 years ago, he was in the band Preston. Now, second-year football player and up here fighting for a state championship.
Well, you got to recruit your own hallways. You see some talent in those hallways. A coach's first job is recruit what you have in your own school building, and that you went and got one out the band, bring them out the stands, off the sidelines, and put it right on the field.
Solid run here, broken tackle, spin move from Joe Lico Gaskin, and that's a big third down conversion for North Marion.
Absolutely. This is a great drive right here, trying to keep the defense off balance. Wilshire hands it up, gives it to Gaskin. Gaskin, the guy that they definitely want to get going. 63% of the team's rushing yards comes from Gaskin. So you know that if anybody's going to be running the rock, it's going to be number 4.
They like to run the ball a lot early to open up the defense and then throw much more later in the game.
Yep. You see Cardinal Gibbons showing a little mask look, trying to disguise their coverage.
This time, Lico with little breathing room. Swarmed by this Cardinal Gibbons defense. They used the 4-2-5 look. Chris Bogle, the top 3 for him right now, Miami, Alabama, and Florida. Just about everybody in the country coming after him. Trevis Robinson, 5.5 sacks last game. That was a school record. Trayvon Brown's just a freshman, but had 92 tackles. Probably a Power 5 guy in his future. And Sidney Porter, their big playmaker in the secondary.
Yeah, he's going to get upfield. That's number 7 in red. Bogle is an outstanding football player. Great footwork, and he really knows how to use his hands. That kid is going to be a player. He's going to get hands on offensive alignment. He's going to make plays in the backfield.
Swing pass to Buck Offord, Zach Offord, the son of the head coach Willie, and great tackle by Gabe Feliciano.
Yeah, absolutely great tackle. You had the outside perimeter throw, a little screen pass, and outside backer Feliciano in the right place at the right time, and makes a solid solo tackle outside the hashes.
They converted the first time on third down. And draw a flag.
Trayvon Brown just a tad bit early.
Prior to the snap, encroachment on the defense, first down.
Trayvon, yeah, go ahead. Trayvon just a little bit early, trying to time up his blitz. You saw they're about to shoot that A gap, see if they can disrupt that play before it even gets started, but got to time it up, and good job by the quarterback holding that cadence.
Not the way you want to give up a first down. Quick hitter again. That's Brendan Shipp. And he's tackled right away.
Derek Atwater not fooled right there at the corner position. Comes up, defeats the block, has a stock block with a wide receiver. Wide receiver didn't get enough on him, and he comes around and makes that play. They're doing a good job on the outside as North Marion's trying to establish these screen passes, short passes to break deep, get a big gain out of him, and Cardinal Gibbons is having none of that.
2nd and 8 from the 21. Wilshire lofts it. Probably a good decision to throw that one away.
Yeah, that was outstanding coverage there in the secondary and the backers. They tried to leak the back out underneath, caused a misdirection. Hopefully he would pop open. But everything was covered. They had a guy in the flats on the first level. They had a deep corner route behind him. That was locked up. Devon James, he covered that up, and he had nowhere to go. Wilshire had nowhere to go with that football. Just had to throw it away.
Was looking for McQuandre Council. 2 for 2 on 3rd down this drive, but this is the longest that they've had to convert so far. 3rd and 8. Plenty of time. Good coverage by Michael Antoine.
Try to put it in that pocket of Jaree Turner. Jaree Turner tried to put it right in that pocket. Threw it nice and high, making a 50-50 ball. My guy's going to come down with it. I trust him. And if he had those hands a little tighter, he probably would have came down with it. Michael Antoine on the coverage caused enough disruption to make an incomplete pass.
They line up for a field goal here. 38-yard attempt for Tyler Stopford, who's only attempted 12 field goals all year. Looks good. And it is. Beautiful kick from the senior booter. 6'4" kicker for you. And it's 3-0 North Marion as the Colts cash in on their first possession.
And a good first drive there for North Marion. Kicker with a lot of juice, puts points on the board. So they established an outstanding drive, 80-yard drive, 3 points on the board. So North Marion, the team that nobody thought would get here, leads in this 5A state championship game. Cardinal Gibbons has to answer back.
North Marion trying to become the first Marion County Public School state champion since 1979. That was Dunellen. And you have to like the, if nothing else, Preston, the excitement level that this team brings to the field.
Yeah, absolutely, because they had 2 games prior to this that they needed outstanding play at the end of the game to propel themselves to the next game. The Nature Coast game, there was a field goal block towards the end. They had a miracle. They had a miracle play to establish to even get to that point. Last they played a game that a field goal block was a return for a touchdown. And then the Trinity Christian game.
Great return. And some blockers ahead for Coleman Bennett.
Yeah, I think he did step out. Even if it was an outstanding return. Kind of got my heart rate a little bit. Oh, boy, that's going to be a big one.
You saw it setting up. You saw the guys out in front of him in red.
Yeah, I dang sure did, boy. You saw that bright red heading down.
So here's Brody Pileggi, a sophomore quarterback who has been thrust into action. Nick Scalzo, their starter, who is committed to the University of Kentucky, ended up tearing his ACL in the regional semifinals. Actually came back and led them to a touchdown drive to win the game against Jones.
Yeah, man. Hey, we say it every single time, Reese, when your number's called, be ready. He practices. They spot him in some games, and now the starting quarterback goes down. He has to step in and lead his team, and now he's in the state championship game. He's no longer backup. He's the starting quarterback, and the starting quarterback has to do starting quarterback type stuff. So we'll see if he can get these guys over the hump against North Marion.
They'll start with him winging it. Completes his first pass to Majon Wright. And look at the big guy run with those long legs inside the 35-yard line on the first play from scrimmage.
Absolutely, and why not? Why not get the ball to Majon Wright? He's one of those playmakers who has over 20 catches this season. They got 4 of them with over 20 catches and over 300 yards. Cardinal Gibbons does an outstanding job spreading the ball around. Short pass, get the quarterback comfortable on a big stage, calm him down, build some confidence, and the easiest way to do that is get the playmakers of football.
First down from the 35. Get it to another playmaker here, Diamond Stewart. Good gain inside the 30. Cardinal Gibbons offense, very much like Mike Leach's air raid attack. That's something Coach DeBuck, who is a Texas Tech graduate, brought to this program. And he's got some good weapons to work with. Vincent Davis, one of the fastest backs in South Florida. He's a Pitt commit. Nick Ojenovich is a Kentucky commit. And on the offensive line, Jamari Williams committed to Arizona.
Keep an eye on number 7 in white, okay? Keep an eye on number 7 in white. Remember we talked about those defensive ends to get going. Jay Nichols is going to be a guy who's going to cause some disruption.
Well, he's a 3-year starter and leads the team with 11 and a half sacks. Already making some noise in the backfield. At linebacker, Trey Davis, a captain, 142 tackles on the season. Huge part of their turnaround from a 3-7 record last year. And in the secondary, Luke Rose, the one to watch. Willie Offord says he's been the team's defensive MVP. There's the Pitt commit, Vincent Davis, inside the 20-yard line.
Vincent Davis counts for 54% of the team's rushing yards. The kid can go. 977 yards coming into this game. Even more so, he averages a half a first down every time he touches the ball. Against American Heritage, 21 carries for 134 yards, and against Miami Jackson, 21 totes for 123 yards. So he's a guy who gets better as the game progresses.
Excellent first drive. Pileggi showing the legs. And a tough run inside the 15 as he finishes with his head forward.
Pileggi not afraid to run the rock now. Not afraid to run the ball at all. The only problem is if he goes down, what you got behind him?
Good question. I don't think they want to find out.
But you can't change your game plan for it. You're confident with him doing what he's doing to get you to this point. All the cards got to be on the table. You can't be, I guess, cautious in the state championship game.
Didn't quite get the first down, though. 3rd and 1. Why not give it to Vincent Davis and have him earn that tough yard and then some?
Yep, absolutely. That's the guy that you're going to trust with the football in his hands. Nice tackle right there by Damian Stewart, but that was after the first down was already accumulated.
Gotta love him after that run, too, helping his big offensive lineman, Willie Hepburn, up off the ground.
They help him all season long. You can't have those yards like those boys.
So we have our first water break of this state championship game. There's Willie Offord. And the playoff history of these two teams, a bit different. 22 times for North Marion. Hadn't found a lot of success. Really, Cardinal Gibbons hasn't either in 20 years. But the state semifinals for Marion, 2005 to 2007, and then that runner-up finish for Cardinal Gibbons. But for North Marion, I take that back. I wouldn't say they haven't found a lot of success. They have had some success, but they've never made it to this point. This is their first state title.
Yeah, and I'm trying to think of the teams in 5A before they shifted over the different district and classifications, what team would prevent them from going there. But we could definitely think of down south from Cardinal Gibbons. You're thinking about 5A, you're thinking about Heritage teams, and those teams have dominated 5A over the years.
Well, Heritage went undefeated 2 straight seasons, including a 58-57 win in triple overtime over this Gibbons teams last year that knocked the Chiefs out. But Gibbons beat them twice this year, including once with Pileggi in the playoffs.
Great info there.
Davis, spin move inside the 10-yard line.
Vincent Davis, and you see his patience as a runner, never rushed, understands the tempo of the game, always in control. Interesting enough, at least on Max Preps, he's only had 3 games over 100 yards rushing, but he still averages half a first down. So he's very efficient with the ball, and you give me half a first down, I'll take those numbers any day.
For sure. Came in 33 yards short of 1,000 on the season. He's getting pretty close to that here. Pileggi extends the play. And I like the fact that the kid doesn't just run out of bounds. He tries to get every yard he can.
Yeah, he's going to try and make a play, and he understands the moment. These kids know, they know when they're on, or they know when the camera's on. Anytime the Spectrum truck pulls up at anybody's school, well, when it used to pull up at somebody's school, they know to show out. And now they're on the big stage, and the game's on at least televised. They know what to do. The kid's not going to run out of bounds. He understands the situation.
Well, Pileggi actually has a father and a brother who went to St. Thomas Aquinas, and yet he picked Cardinal Gibbons and certainly has a very bright future ahead. Little did he know that it would come this quickly to be playing of a game of this magnitude as a sophomore.
Right.
Wildcat look here with Davis. They're snap it to the other Davis, Tajay, inside the 5, but a flag comes in. Or at least I thought I saw a flag. Maybe not.
They'll get
Fourth
those
down.
three. Yeah, go ahead and get those $3, tie the game up. Just more on Pileggi. Before the Jesuit game, which he was 6 for 8 for 156 yards, he had 45, 13, 32, 10 passing yards. That was the stats previous 4 games coming into this game, him in his backup role, throwing a few passes each game. And then he goes off for 156 yards against Jesuit to propel Cardinal Gibbons into the state finals.
Dayton Montiel tying the game. He's as reliable as they come. So 2 good drives and 2 field goals to start this Class 5A state championship game.
Yes, it was. 2 very good drives by 2 good offenses. A backup quarterback playing his role, the starter. No mistakes there, showed some guts. And then North Marion's Wilshire on his very first drive, very crisp in the offense. The balance by the offense, the run and the pass and spreading the ball around. You can tell right now that we've got some good play calling, good players on the field.
That is Nick Scalzo, who holds 11 school passing records at Cardinal Gibbons. Look at the stats. Gaudy, 24 touchdowns, 8 interceptions this year. He's thrown 77 touchdowns in his career, but he's going to have to watch from the sideline and hope that Brody Pileggi can help complete the season that he started.
Player coach now. He's going to help. He's going to help the young quarterback on the bench. Tell him what he sees. The coach will probably use his eyes also to help scout the defense and personnel changes and just different formations. He's still a good player, just not able to play today. So they're going to use his eyes and his intelligence to help them win this game.
Montiel puts his foot to it. Another excellent kickoff. 2 for 2 on touchbacks.
All right, Wilshire 4-6 on his first. Wilshire was 4-6 on his first possession, 33 yards. Obviously no touchdown, but his second drive should be pretty good also.
North Marion hailing out of Citra, which is just north of Ocala. 1,300 kids in the school. What's notable about the Citra area, the pineapple orange comes from there. That's kind of what they're best known for, although I asked Willie Alford what he thought of pineapple oranges. He said, I don't eat them. I like the nut farms better because they have some really good peanuts in that area too.
Okay, well, I'm a Florida guy. Give me the citrus, give me the fruit any day.
Have you had a pineapple orange?
I don't, not knowingly. not knowingly.
Well, the Colts knowingly hand the ball off to Lico Gaskin. That's been a wise decision this year and pushes the pile forward for 4 or 5 yards.
Gaskin can go, man. I like his build. I like how he runs behind his pads. Has some vision. He's not a real cut guy. He's a one-cut, run downhill type player. 5'10", 205 pounds, and he's rather punish you than run around you.
Lico Gaskin stood up this time. Big Chris Bogle there. Chris Bogle, along with some help from Rashawn Crooks. 2 big boys who have a lot of talent.
19 touchdowns for Gaskin coming into this game, so he knows how to find pay dirt. And just like the running back on the opposite side, he's also good for half a first down. He's 6.4 yards per carry. Those running backs are going to get you half a first down. Hey, I'll take them any day.
North Marion converted a couple of 3rd downs on the opening drive. 3rd and 5 here. Wilshire high with his throw, but a great adjustment and grab by Jaree Turner.
Jaree Turner, we got that. Quarterback's down, though.
Ooh.
It's not good if he's hurt.
It looks like it was low on the hit. We saw it kind of out of the corner of our eye on the screen.
I'm not sure if somebody got pushed into him or did he get tackled low, but he definitely got hit in the knee. And this is not going to be good if he is down.
Corey Wilshire coming off maybe the best game of his career. 3 touchdown passes, 281 yards, and that upset of Trinity Christian, a team, Preston, we seem to see here every year at the state finals. Let's take a different look at what happened when he got hit.
So I'm looking at that backside right behind him. Looks like took a helmet to the knee. Hopefully it's just a bruise. Just looking at the training staff and how they're reacting to him. Hopefully it's not too serious. Hopefully he can walk off on his own power, but he did take a helmet to the knee at least. If he can't come back in, will we possibly see Quentin Gross?
Yes, that's who we expect to see.
So he should be warming up on the sideline someplace. Don't see him just yet.
Well, at least he is able to walk on his own weight, so we have that. But Corey Wilshire, such an important part of this team. Willie Alford called him the epitome of a high school quarterback and said, you know, this team really feeds off his energy and competitiveness. He's not really a vocal guy, but he has been a big-time leader. And there is Quentin Ross, not someone who hasn't seen time in this offense. Really a dual threat type of quarterback. Likes to run the run zone read. He's been in this system since 7th grade, so certainly no stranger to what they're doing.
Well, let's see if this changes the dynamic, the complexity of the offense. What kind of game plan is it going to be with Gross now in the football game instead of Wilshire?
I'd say he's off to a pretty good start.
Yeah, they're going to use his legs. If he's an athlete, like we say, and they're going to definitely use his assets to their advantage. Why have him throw the deep ball when I know he can give me 40 yards on the ground?
The way he holds the football has a little Willie Beeman in
Yeah,
it.
a little Willie Beeman
Sunday. So at this point, we're seeing a Class 5A state title between 2 backup quarterbacks, but both have shown they can make plays. Who will be this year's Nick Foles in the 5A title game?
Ah, here we go. A little speed option.
Ran that to Jaron Papa Gilmore. He's run the ball very well, 10.5 yards per carry this season.
Yep. Here you get Gross, a great read. Got Jaden coming upfield on him. If he comes, he pitches. That's exactly what happened. We need positive yards.
Beat 5-star recruit Chris Bogle to the corner there. 2nd and 4 for the Colts.
Empty set. They've shown a lot of empty, but they've shifted to a back in the backfield. They're keeping this personnel grouping in.
Buck offered the reception for the first down. No, check that. That's Jaron Papa Gilmore again.
Papa Gilmore's touched the ball plenty of times already in this first half.
Coach Offord is not sure where he got the name Papa, but Papa's Papa is on the coaching staff. His father, also the brother of a couple legendary running backs from North Marion, Eddie Rocker and Jamie Gilmore.
3 touches for 39 yards in total for Papa Gilmore.
Interception. And still going with it here, Sidney Porter takes it to the 35-yard line. Matt DeBuck telling us that he was their playmaker. There is a flag. I don't know if it's roughing the passer. It is, so that's going to erase that.
Oh, Sidney Porter just sitting back in the middle of the field, being the robber back there.
So we will let referee Larry Ruerda sort it out.
That's close. That's close, but I think he saw the ball released. You got to just pull up.
Roughing the passer on the defense. Automatic first down.
Sidney Porter had more than 40 tackles coming in this game, 3 interceptions. The late hit will negate his 4th one.
That was Trevis Robinson on the pressure. Again, I believe he's the one who hit Corey Wilshire when he was injured. He had 5.5 sacks, a school record last week against Jesuit. Breaking three here, Lico Gaskin.
There goes Mr. Gaskin. Keep those chains moving. 6.4 yards a rush. I'll take 11.1 on that one. No huddle offense, a little sugar offense. It's not necessarily a hurry up, just no huddle.
We're down under a minute to play in this first quarter of the 5A state championship game. Rishi Barron and Preston Jackson here in the booth at Camping World Stadium. Very entertaining first quarter.
Gross looks really comfortable, the young quarterback. There goes Gaskin again.
Gross, just 5'8", 153 pounds, but you saw what he can do with his legs, and you're right, looks comfortable slinging it around. They're not asking him to go downfield too much, although he did throw that interception that got negated.
Yeah, he looks like he's done this before, obviously. He's been here, been in the system since 7th grade, so at least those nerves are gone.
Quarterback draw, designed well, has the blocks, and has a touchdown.
There goes your impact off the bench. There goes your impact off the bench.
From backup QB to scorer of the first touchdown of the 2018 Class 5A state championship game.
Corey Wilshire still on the bench, getting looked at by the medical staff, but Quentin Gross comes in the game. Some arms, some legs, more legs on that play there. Reaches that ball out over the goal line, and we'll take 6. Game plan didn't like it changed much. It just, hey, I got a more athletic quarterback behind center. I'm going to calm his nerves and get him involved in the game early. As we look at Wilshire right here, and still got his equipment on, which is good, but now we got more medical staff that's come out from underneath the tunnel, a lot of blue shirts around him.
We're going to take a timeout here, as that's the end of the first quarter. Good way to finish it for the Colts. They lead 10-3 after one. North Marion shocking Trinity Christian, everybody's favorite in Class 5A in the semis, and they're off to a great start against Cardinal Gibbons, up 10-3, 2 scores and 2 drives. Chance to see what the Chiefs do to respond. Flag comes in at the end of that play on the return by Coleman Bennett. Cardinal Gibbons, school that's had a lot of success in a number of different sports, out of Fort Lauderdale. You see some great alumni, especially at the college level there in terms of football teams. This is a school that's been waiting its turn with American Heritage in their way, and this season swept
block in the back
defending state
on the return team. 10-yard penalty, first down.
Not many penalties in this game. We saw some games earlier in the 1A and the 2A game, and shoot, even the 4A game last night, they just had a lot of laundry on the flag. Hopefully we get a clean game here, but having a good return, and now you get pushed back on your own account.
Pileggi right on the money with his throw to Majon Wright. Although the ball comes out, they're saying he was down.
Take a look at this replay and see what happened here. Pileggi fires a nice little hitch. It's definitely,
I don't know, it might have hit his leg instead of the
angle,
ground.
yeah, that angle is tough for us to see. The ref had a good spot on it. He called it quickly. He was decisive with his call.
Boy, did that get blown up in a hurry.
Vincent Davis had nowhere to run there.
Nate Ion, they call him Nate Positive Ion, but there was a lot of negative yardage on that play.
Yeah, look at those stats right there. 9 for tackle for loss, 109 on the season. Just a handoff here inside to Davis, and there goes Positive for negative yards.
3-year starter, the junior, over 110 tackles now on the season. 3rd and 11 for the young Pileggi and his Chiefs. flag is thrown. You clearly saw the defensive back put his hand on the shoulder of the intended receiver on that play.
I'm keeping an eye on the game between the game. We'll get here and see if this is actually a flag. Pileggi, good job moving in the pocket. Lets this one rip. Hard to see with that angle, but wide receivers always. I'm a defensive back. Wide receivers are always crying for flags.
I'll tell you right now, from here, and we're pretty high up. So,
okay.
But I thought I clearly saw it. So
all right, I'm going with
you're biased.
Pass interference on the defense. 15-yard penalty, first down.
Now, Willie Offord is clearly on your side of things.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm keeping an eye on the game within. He may have had the right hand over the back. That was a better angle for us there. He may have had the right hand over the back.
The Chiefs will take it, and a very good run here from the pick commit, Vincent Davis. And we have a player down. Looks like junior tackle Gerald Mincy.
Keep an eye on right tackle Anthony Earl. Jersey 76 versus Jaden Nichols, number 7 for North Marion. Earl has done a really good job keeping Nichols neutralized coming off the edge. He hasn't been able to use his athleticism against Earl. Earl's showing really good footwork, good hands, keeping Nichols outside of the pocket. This could be another crucial injury on the field for, obviously, for one of the teams playing.
It's just too bad that injuries are kind of taking the forefront. In this title game, we already knew coming in that we would be seeing a backup quarterback for Cardinal Gibbons,
right,
with Pileggi and for Scalzo. Then we see Wilshire go down, and now a key offensive lineman, the left tackle, Gerald Mincy, 6'6", 317 pounds. That's your big boy. But back to the thought on the injured quarterbacks, one thing we have seen is great play out of each of the backups.
Yeah, we definitely have. They've been good. They've been really, really good. Pileggi should have a good game here also. He's pretty crisp, man.
One thing that Coach DeBuck told me earlier this week was the offense isn't changing at all with Pileggi in at quarterback. They're not changing the way that they're doing things. Now, I don't know if they're going to be quite as aggressive, but we've already seen them try to throw down the field with him.
I don't think so either. And I'm still paying attention to the sideline, and I see Wilshire up on his feet now. Not sure how well he's moving. I cancel that. He's not on his feet. But the medical staff is gone, so they're still checking out that knee. His return may be questionable.
Good decision by Pileggi to find Vincent Davis, who leaps and bounds on the sideline for some extra yardage.
Now, if we get the replay on this, I think I can explain to you what the difference and why he did not get a penalty. Let's see what happened first. Okay, now the difference between that, we had one on the other night where outstanding athletic play by one of the running backs, and he jumped over one of the defenders, except the defender was upright. Now, I think that was close also. That probably should have been a penalty, but the rule says if he has 2 feet on the ground and he's standing upright, then it's going to be a penalty on the offense. It's a hurdling call.
Davis found a way to get a few on the sideline in spite of some contain. North Marion asking for a flag at the end of the play.
Don't let it get chippy. Come on, let's play some football. Speaking of number 5 that's on the screen, he's a volume guy. Keep handing him the ball. Let him get going. His motor has to get going. Outstanding player is Vincent Davis. As we said before, in the playoffs, he racked up, 3 times this season he's over 100 yards. But they have so many weapons on offense that he's not the only guy that's going to touch the football.
Davis spinning right into Nate Positive Ion there, and now he takes his time getting up, and little chippiness going down between the two teams too.
Refs need to get the game under control. We don't want to get out of hand and start having a whole bunch of personal fouls and stopping the clock, having guys getting removed for the game. It's a state playoff game, a state championship game, and the best players need to be on the field.
It's Jaden Nichols, who's had such a great season, that was fired up down there for North Marion. 3rd and 6. They stay on the ground. Tajay Davis to the 45, and Cardinal Gibbons stands its ground. We'll see what North Marion decides to do on 4th down.
Well,
or should I say Cardinal Gibbons?
Right. And they may, they're 2 yards short. If I'm them, I punt this away. 4th, they're going to probably get an ice call here, see if they can get North Marion and jump off sides. But the easy decision is to punt this because, remember.
Well, they're going to go. And a great play by the defensive back there. Zach Offord, the son of Willie Offord, the former Viking and the head coach. Excellent coverage.
Yeah, he's super aggressive on this screen pass. He read it all the way. Pileggi get those shoulders around, and once he get those shoulders turned towards the sideline, nothing is about to happen. Offord comes downhill with a wide receiver on him trying to block him and makes that tackle.
You might be wondering where Offord gets the nickname Buck. It's actually a pretty interesting story. Willie Offord played at South Carolina, and they were in the Outback Bowl, and they were playing at Raymond James Stadium where the Tampa Bay Buccaneers play. Well, Willie's wife went into labor during that game, and that's why they gave him the nickname Buck.
Okay.
So Buck and company now on the offensive side of the ball. He starts both ways. Although it's the Gibbons defense shining on the run by Gaskin, getting in his face.
Absolutely. Trey Davis, Luke Tolbert, Nate Positive Ion. Those backers for North Marion, and then you have on the other side, you got Judy and Brown at linebackers. Then they go 5 in the secondary for Cardinal Gibbons. So we got some talented front sevens and back sevens for each team. They've already made plays. We got an interception and some great tackles.
A lot going on, huh?
Absolutely. The kid Sidney Porter, I was impressed by that play that he made the interception. Offers played well, the coach's son. Took too long to get that ball out.
Yeah, the defense read it well, but a good block there trying to spring Papa Gilmore.
They're setting up. They are setting up to either screen and go, some type of double pass. Both teams are extremely aggressive downhill against those screen passes. They are primed for a pump and go, some type of double move that's going to bring the defense up, and they're going to go right behind them. They're setting it up. Both teams are setting it up.
North Marion already with a 7-point lead. 3rd and 8 as the Colts try to pull another shocker here. What a play by the 2 stud defensive ends. Trevis Robinson started it, and Chris Bogle finished it.
Trevis Robinson Van really disciplined. Good job keeping his outside free, getting the top side shoulder of the quarterback. You know those athletic guys like to spin out, see if they can lose the defenders, and no. Bogle, that's one of the guys we talked about in the opening. Number 7, Chris Bogle, outstanding player. They just double teamed that kid, man. He had nowhere to go.
Robinson was actually a high school point guard when they found him and brought him to start playing football, and doesn't look like a point guard now at that size.
Yeah, he shouldn't have ran the show on that one.
North Marion calls a timeout.
White.
Getting ready to punt the football away, but wow, those defensive ends, they are something.
Yeah,
Preston.
on both sides of the field. Both teams have a good set of defense in. A lot of speed, man. A lot of speed, a lot of athleticism. Kids have offers from all over the place. We got a bunch of college coaches here. I was chatting it up with Willie Taggart between the breaks, and we were talking Florida State and a little bit about recruiting, and so we got a lot of dudes up here looking at a lot of these top prospects here in the building.
Well, Chris Bogle missed 6 games this season with a knee injury. He got hurt in what was a very damaging preseason game against Key West. They lost both him and their 2 running backs. But once he's come back, he still finished the season with 48 tackles and 16.5 tackles for a loss and pretty much half a season.
You can see that knee brace he's wearing, but it hasn't slowed him down much.
High snap, excellent handle there, but it's blocked and picked up and a touchdown.
Wow.
Sidney Porter got his back. They took away the interception, but he has his touchdown.
Wow, what a play. Sidney Porter, the recipient of the touchdown, but there was a couple other dudes that was involved that made the play. It all started with an air snap, mishandling by the punter. Then you got a push up the middle of the field by the punt return team. Let's see who got the hand on this punt. may have been Porter also that blocked it and recovered it. I don't want to give him too much credit, but if he deserves it, he deserves it. I think so.
I think you're right.
I think so. I think Sidney Porter blocked it with his left hand, picked it up with his right.
No question.
What an
And that's the
outstanding
way you get
play.
back in the game, isn't it?
Yeah, what an outstanding play by Porter.
So we have a tie game. And of note, I don't think it had anything to do with the situation there because it was actually an excellent job by Kenyo Gates to catch that punt. But their normal punter is Corey Wilshire. So they're going to be without him for as long as he's out, and it doesn't look like he's coming back anytime soon. But Sidney Porter, he has been dynamic.
He has, man. We've seen it, man. And on this environment, like I said, hey, we got coaches in the house, man. He's made 2 huge plays. They're taking notes. I'm looking over here to our right, and everybody's kind of like chatting up a little bit, taking a little private note so the other coach next to him doesn't see it. You know, so on this stage, you got these coaches watching and many other at home on their cell phones, and that's a great play. Great play.
Preston, you work with a lot of high school football players who are trying to be college football players who are recruits. How much does having an extra game like this in front of these eyes help those kind of fringe recruit players in terms of their chances of getting a scholarship?
Enough times it helps more than it doesn't. Because now you can play in front of coaches, they can somewhat size you up and see how big you are. And then if you make plays against better teams, because now you're playing against top competition, all that does is promote you even more. So anytime you have an opportunity to have another interview, this is nothing but like a job interview for each one of these players, you're going to take advantage of it.
Well, you got to love the way these teams go back and forth and never let up. Another momentum changer there on the return by Brendan Shipp, the hero of the last game with the game-winning touchdown against Trinity Christian.
All right, this is another chance for Gross to come back out here and drive his team down the field. He's done a pretty good job as a young kid. That one error where, you know, he backed up 40 yards and got sacked is probably his one bad moment, but other than that, he's been pretty steady.
Wow, what a game. 10-10, Class 5A state championship. This has been the game, Preston.
You were waiting on this game.
Oh, man.
You did. I cut you off, but you said it when we were before this game.
I had a feeling.
You had a feeling this is going to be a good
one.
one.
Flag on the play, Bogle all over Gross. We'll sort it all out with this crew from the Greater Naples Officials Association.
Now, we've mentioned Bogle a lot as the refs, they huddle up and get this foul, but Trevis Robinson, another guy who's really, really good, 6'1", 230. Jordan Johnson's been active today, that's number 71. And then on the opposite side, you got number 99 and Rashad Crooks.
Illegal motion on the offense. That penalty's declined. Brings up second down.
Well, back to the whole 5A title game, right? So I've had the honor of calling this. This is the 4th straight year. The 3 previous were the legendary game between Wakulla and Bishop Moore from Orlando.
What was it, like 4 years ago?
Oh man, yeah.
Felipe Franks
missed a 50-yard field goal
right.
that could have sent it to overtime.
Yep.
Then the year after that was that epic American Heritage Ponte Vedra game, which no one expected Ponte Vedra to be in, and this North Marion team reminds me of them. That defense, though, continues to contain the Colts on this drive. Too much speed on the field right now. North Marion, against the teams that they usually play against, that play would probably work against that speed, but this team, this Lauderdale Cardinal Gibbons team, they're not letting those lateral plays get executed properly. They're doing a good job of making these tackles almost for losses every single time they try and throw them. North Marion needs to try to go at Cardinal Gibbons. They got to get the ball upfield and try and progress the ball through the air upfield instead of left and right. Porter made that play too, 3rd and 12 for the young sophomore quarterback, Quentin Gross. And they have a delay of game call.
Prior to the snap, delay of game on the offense. Officials timeout, water break.
So water break on the field. It's going to be 3rd and 17 now, and Willie Offords probably going to want to throw the ball here. And fortunately for him, he has a lot of weapons to work with.
Yeah, but he's missing the key weapon, which is on the bench, the starting quarterback.
Well, here's their air attack that they have, the balanced offense. Look at that amazing balance. 3 guys in the 600 category, 1 in the 400 category who's made big plays, and all those touchdowns add up to something special.
Yep, and then right behind them, you've got McQuandre Council. He's got 116 yards himself, and that's just through the air. You put it on the ground, you got gas is all-purpose yards. You got guys who do a lot of different things on the ground and through the air. So if you have all those weapons, you sure enough can make the quarterback look really good.
Brendan Shipp is their leading receiver, and he was their leading receiver last year as a true freshman. Big play guy, 2 huge catches on that final drive to beat the Conquerors of Trinity Christian last week.
Cardinal Gibbons already 5 penalties for 42 yards.
Well, they're going with a bit of a razzle-dazzle here, but good contained by the Chiefs.
I don't know if it's the stage that the kids are on, but the penalty yards have been killing a lot of teams early in the ball game. We're getting games with double-digit penalties before even the half. Right now, Cardinal Gibbons already have 5 for 42. That's taking away big plays on kickoff returns and offensively.
So here comes the punt. Vincent Davis and Coleman Bennett both are dynamic returners. Can't see who they have back there. Travis Robinson, who's making all kinds of noise, nearly got a hand on that kick. Fair catch called for. Actually, it's Diamond Stewart, and good field position for Brody Pileggi and the Chiefs.
I think they may get another block punt before the end of the game. They're real close. The protection's not great, and the kickers is taking a 3-step drop to kick that football, man. He's got to shorten that up, or they're going to get to that ball.
For those of you just joining us, North Marion starting quarterback Corey Wilshire, who is also their punter, was injured early in this game and has not returned. They've turned to backup Quentin Gross. On the other side, Cardinal Gibbons already was without starting quarterback Nick Scalzo, who tore his ACL a couple weeks ago. Brody Pileggi, the man with the ball now, is in for him. And he's shown some athletic ability as he pulls it down and gets to the 45.
He tried to get the ball downfield. He's getting a lot of time. Offensive lines on both sides are doing a pretty good job buying time for the quarterback. Hasn't quite been able to get his main guy, Troy Stellato, into the game, number 16. He's their main guy, leads the team in receptions and in receiving yards. And, no, he's second on the team in touchdowns, but he leads in the 2 main categories.
Pileggi, similar play here, pulled it down when he saw his first option wasn't there, and another positive gain.
One thing that you don't want to happen is your receivers get frustrated. You don't want them to get detached from what the offense is doing because they're not touching the football. So they got to find a way to get their guys involved. Even though it's a team game, receivers they got egos and they're pretty prideful. They want the ball. They can be selfish at times, but as long as they're getting the job done for the offense, they make things happen.
Pileggi gets it done here with the pass completion for a first down. Found his man, Jake Harrington, the 5'11 sophomore.
Jake Harrington, going across the middle. It's tough. A lot of guys don't like doing that. Pileggi ball on the money, put it right between the numbers. Harrington takes a few hits, holds on to the football. I don't understand why guys wear towels behind them. First of all, you have on gloves.
Back to the run.
There you go.
And a great run by Davis.
There goes that guy. Vincent Davis, you got to keep the truck going. Hand him the rock. Keep feeding him and feeding him and feeding him. He's going to get real small in this hole right here. You have the pulling guard. Breaks 2 tackles before getting tackled right there.
And that run put him over 1,000. What a way to do it. 1,000 yards for the season, 34 for the game. Pileggi looks confident and throws a good ball. First down, Diamond Stewart at the 5.
Yeah, it was a good ball. Boy, that was a nice ball. But if he would have kept him on his feet, Diamond Stewart would have walked in the end zone. Good release. Just doesn't have the arm strength, but positive yardage.
Pileggi certainly doesn't look scared back there.
No, neither quarterback does.
This one knocked up in the air, and all of the Cardinal Gibbons fans who are sitting right in front of us took a big sigh of relief.
Ooh, was that number 2, Luke Rose with the pop? Ooh. Got tipped, fair. Anytime the ball is tipped, that hit on the receiver is going to become legal. So if you're calling for pass interference on defense, that would not be the proper call because that ball was tipped.
Jaden Nichols, the man who got the hand on the ball that allowed Rose to pop it.
Rose, 6'1", 190
Timeout,
pounds.
red.
One of those long defensive backs. So you're getting the game that you want, Reach. An exciting ball game, 10-10. Now you kind of balance it out. You got 2 backup quarterbacks in the game now. Pileggi came in as the starter but was the backup. And now we got Gronk in the game because North Marion's guy got knocked out in Wilshire. So what's your overall estimation of the game?
I think it's been excellent. We've seen a little bit of everything, and I tell you what's fun about this, we have so many games that we do where they're teams we see year after year, the Aquinas, the aforementioned Trinity Christian, even North Florida Christian, who we saw in the first game, who has 8 state titles. This one, what's at stake? First state title for whoever wins it. Both of these teams are battling with backup quarterbacks and great defenses and a lot of playmakers. I don't know if it gets any better than this.
Good, man. I agree with you, man. Nothing else to say on that one. I'm with Reach.
I'd like to thank our whole Spectrum Sports crew who has worked hard not only in this game and the game before, but all weekend. A lot of the guys working double duty and watching a great game here. On second down, Tajay Davis to the 5.
Get closer to that goal line. You want more bulk running that ball. Tajay Davis is the guy they're going to call on. Number 24. 5'11", 220 pounds. Looks like he may be 230.
Well, he comes up limping. Davis in because they like to have their best 11 players on the field. Third down here, they're 2 for 4 on the game. Vincent Davis not going to get to the end zone.
Not to say that they were going to be content kicking this field goal, but definitely they are sure that their kicker will make this short field goals. So that play call came in pretty fast. They knew exactly what they wanted. They knew exactly what they wanted in case they did not get that third down conversion.
So they'll call timeout with 2:30 left here in the first half. Question is, will they kick the field goal? The kicker is kind of jockeying for position over there, Dayton Montiel. You see him talking with his coaches, but here's a chance they might just decide to punch it in.
My call, ball is at the 2-yard line. Can North Marion drive the ball down in 2 minutes and 15 seconds and score? I don't think so. I think I go for this. I'm talking to my defense right now, say, hey guys, I think we're going for this. I need you guys to muscle up in case we don't get it. Get ready, defensive coordinators, get your guys ready, know what you want to call, because if we don't get this, we're going to need you. I'm going for this right now, and I'm probably going to get it in 5's hands. A direct snap would be good. They'll let this run down and probably bring the kicking team on, which is also a good call. Give me those $3. I'll take them any day.
So I was waiting to see if they took a timeout, and they are taking a timeout. The one thing that I would say about taking a second timeout there is if you don't get it and they get the ball and North Marion gets the ball, might hurt your chances of scoring if they have to punt. But I think trying to get these points is a little more important.
I think you weigh the risk, and I think what you're doing is you're going to play it by the numbers, where we think we can play enough defense to force North Marion to call their timeouts. We think we can keep them in bounds. If we don't get it, they got 99 yards to drive downfield. We'll just play prevent defense, make them keep the ball in front of us. I don't think they can score 99 yards 2 minutes with 2 timeouts. I mean, it can be done by great NFL offenses. I just don't think North Marion is one of those style offenses. Obviously, there's high school with a backup quarter. And Cardinal Gibbons has played well defensively against North Marion.
Well, it appears they are going to kick the field goal now. So Dayton Montiel, his argument, his pitch on the sideline apparently worked. And Coach DeBuck says, I'm going to make sure we get some points out of this and take the lead late in the first half. And Dayton Montiel, about as good as you're going to find in high school football.
Yep.
And he now has 2 field goals on the day.
Which is the right decision. Think about it like this,
well,
Richie.
You just said they should go for it. What are you talking about?
Well, yes, they should. But it's still the right decision if you think about it like this. Play the numbers. So if they don't score again, they can't win. North Marion doesn't score again, they can't win. Right now we got a 3-point lead. Go into the locker room with the lead, trust my defense, just in case all heck breaks loose. In the second half, we still have a 3-point lead. They don't score, we win.
So what you're saying is that you were wrong.
What I'm saying is, now that I think about it, that was the right decision.
And that would make you wrong.
No, that wouldn't make me wrong. Just my opinion will be different of what they win. But it's not wrong, right?
We can agree to disagree.
Rishi, that's
All right, let's talk about the Gibbons defense. Their defense has been fantastic. Look at this. American Heritage with 5-star Central, maybe not as much as in past years, but still good. 7 points allowed 2 weeks ago. Jesuit, 3 points allowed. Both of those teams averaging in the 30 points per game range, but North Marion has 13 on the board in the first half. Excuse me, Gibbons has 13 on the board. North Marion has 10 on the board in the first half.
45 total sacks for Cardinal Gibbons this season, man. 42, Robinson's got 14 and a half, and then you got Bogle with 7.5 himself. Uh-oh.
Everything looked like it could be a big return there,
Yes,
but
did.
a great tackle made.
All right, can you march down the field in 2 minutes, 2 timeouts. Ball at the 25. It's going to be interesting.
Sophomore quarterback Quentin Gross pushed into action in this game when West Florida commit Corey Wilshire, the starting quarterback for North Marion, was injured. Did not look good. We have not seen him back on the field.
On defense, this is not the time to play prevent defense. And at home, prevent, you back that secondary up, you back your linebacker, try not to let it go deep over our head. But they still have to play real defense at normal alignments because North Marion's definitely going to be working the sideline. They got to work the sideline. They try and get, now that's not a good call.
Well, this stellar defensive line continues to wreak havoc in the backfield.
Right, which is why I said they should wait for the touchdown because their defense is going to play good ball against it. All right, so now the clock's ticking. They got 2 timeouts. 3rd down, they don't get it. They'll probably blow one of those, get the play that they want to get the 1st down, and they'll blow another one when they get on the other side of the 50.
Willie Offord, patient with his team here.
Got a quad look 4x1 to the Cardinal Gibbons sideline. You're playing man-to-man. Actually, you're playing the zone.
Gross, incomplete, little overthrown, little into the inside, could have been dangerous. Good coverage by Michael Antoine.
Even if he did complete that pass, you would have got the 1st down. Clock would have stopped because of the 1st down, then wind back up when the ball was set. They need to work the sideline a little bit more. You got 3rd and 11 here. Here's the other thing about it. You got 1:15 left. If they don't convert the punt to Cardinal Gibbons is going to have 50 seconds to try and march downfield on their own and score again.
Four receivers in the formation. Looked like one of them may have jumped early, but no call. There is a flag there at the end, maybe for roughing the passer. Nope, it's going against North Marion.
What is it? I didn't get the call. It was a personal foul or holding.
I missed the signal from
could
the
have been
referee. I just saw him point North Marion's way.
Could have been a hold by number 72, Chase Kleehammer. Sorry, messed up his name.
Why don't we let Larry Ruhr tell us for certain.
Holding on the offense, that penalty is declined. Brings up 4th down.
So plenty of time here.
Plenty of time.
Gibbons getting the ball back. Seen some solid returns from Diamond Stewart already in this game, and Willie Offord's defense will need to come up with a stop here before the half.
A conservative coach tells his return just catching it, fair catch it. An aggressive coach, catch that thing and get as much as you can. Oh, he gave him a beauty. Good call.
Excellent job by Kenuel Gates, who's in as the backup punter for the injured Corey Wilshire, and Cardinal Gibbons still with pretty good field position.
Yes, yes they do. Really good field position. Now remember, they don't have any timeouts, so the sideline is their friend. North Marion has to know the situation, tackle the guys in bounds. Cardinal Gibbons also has to know the situation, attempt to get out of bounds unless they can get a huge gain, or it is a first down. You may need a spike somewhere in here if you get behind downs, or the clock starts to wind on you.
Brody Pileggi doing everything fine in this game. Oh man, he tried to throw between 4 defenders. Not a bad pass, but couldn't complete it to Majon Wright.
Yeah, he straight telegraphed that pass to Majon Wright. He didn't look at anybody else. He knew exactly where he wanted to go with that ball. The defense did also. They converged on that pass, and nobody just couldn't get a hand on it. But boy, I thought that was going to get picked.
What have you thought of Pileggi's performance?
Just okay. He's been okay. He was better in the first quarter, but I think now that the defense is dialed into what he likes and what they're doing, they kind of figured out that game plan. They played well against him.
Completes it into tight coverage there, and a big play continuing to run into the end zone for the touchdown is Jake Harrington, his 2nd reception of the day, and Pileggi comes up big. Harrington shaking the defender and going the distance.
Just what you did not want to happen if you're North Marion. 10 unanswered points to end the half. Pileggi, you just asked how he played. I downplayed it some. He throws a strike. Harrington fights off tacklers. And instead of going down, he gets down the field, got 6.
3rd touchdown of the year for Harrington. And a double-digit lead going into the break if they can get the extra point from Montiel. And they do. 20-10, Cardinal Gibbons, after a strong finish to this first half.
Right, Jake Harrington came in with only 2 touchdowns, only 159 yards, only 14 receptions. Not only did he break 1 tackle, he broke a few more, showed some speed, and gave Cardinal Gibbons a convincing lead heading into halftime. Love the emotion. You love guys that want to make plays. That's what championship teams do, no matter against the adversity. Guy came in with only 159 yards. Now look what the impact he's having in the game now.
I don't think at the beginning of the season too many Cardinal Gibbons fans would have thought that the Brody Pileggi to Jake Harrington connection would be where it was at the state championship, but it's working for him so far.
Yeah, look at the baby face, and 5'9", 160-pound sophomore, and Pileggi having a really good game so far. Got a whole second half to play. He'll probably even be better in the second half. North Marion's going to have to dial some things up, slow him down. But he's been okay with the football, hasn't turned it over. Actually, he did, but he got a rough in the passer, so. No, he didn't. That was the opposite team.
Other team, yep.
Yeah.
Well, this is the first time since 1990 that Cardinal Gibbons has been in the state final. That was the team's only appearance, and in that game, the Chiefs lost 44-14 to Live Oak Suwannee. And their head coach, Matt Dubuck, and several members of his coaching staff were on that team. And so far today, the script is flipping, Preston.
Sure is. So now the question is, how do you approach this last drive with 50 seconds left to end this half of your North Marion? Do you attempt to score? You have 2 timeouts. You have enough time to put a 1-minute drive together. or you just run the ball and let the clock tick out a few times and go into halftime and reconvene and get your game plan.
Which decision would you make?
Run the football, let the clock run out on you.
No timeouts for Cardinal Gibbons to stop it. Oh boy, that defense is really getting things going now. The two defensive tackles on that play, Jordan Johnson.
Ooh.
I think it was Damon Jackson.
Ooh, here they come.
No, Rashawn Crooks. Excuse me, Terry Marius. Terry Marius, the 6'1", 290-pound junior. Run it again, and that may bring us to the end of this first half. First half that has had a lot of things happen in it, Preston.
Yep.
But most recently, 17 straight points from Cardinal Gibbons to take a 20-10 lead into the break.
Yeah, and 10 points scored in an estimated 50 seconds for Cardinal Gibbons to end the half. In a turn of events that North Marion, all you can do is shake your head at why did that happen? Instead of going in a tie ball game, you're going 10 down.
Uphill battle for the Colts in the second half. They're facing a defense that has been very stingy, but they're down 10. We'll see what happens. We'll take a break. We'll be back with the second half in a little bit here. 17 unanswered points from Cardinal Gibbons has the Chiefs with a 20-10 halftime lead here at the Class 5A State Championship game. Reese Barrett and Preston Jackson about to break down the first half of action before we start the second half here. And we have some highlights for you. Let's start with backup quarterback Quentin Gross. The starter Corey Wilshire goes down, and then he goes on running into the end zone.
Yeah, just do it with your legs. Get you warmed up, get you involved in the ball game, and Gross makes it happen, gets 6 on the board. I like it.
Sidney Porter had a touchdown taken away, or excuse me, an interception taken away earlier in the game, but then he blocks the kick and returns it for a touchdown.
Yeah, he's no stranger to the end zone. He had 3 TDs coming into the season. That makes it 4 off the block put in the return.
And then 2 guys who probably weren't a big part of the team's plans early in the season, Brody Pileggi, the backup quarterback, to Jake Harrington, just his 3rd touchdown of the year.
Yeah, make that 3. Had only 116 yards, 140-something yards coming into this game, and hey, he's been a big-time playmaker so far.
Here's the stats in the first half. We give you a quick sneak preview of them. Balanced in some ways, but the passing yards in Gibbons' favor.
Yeah, absolutely. Once Wilshire went down, that passing number absolutely dropped. Gross with only 8 yards passing because he's throwing screens. They haven't been completing anything downhill, down upfield, and now you can see the quarterback for Cardinal Gibbons is absolutely ripping that thing, 130 yards, and big piece is that Harrington touchdown at the end of the half.
Where the game seemed to turn, though, Preston, was when the defense of the Chiefs took over, specifically that defensive line. Yeah,
they sure did. They started getting pressure in the face of the quarterback. They started stuffing that quarterback run. They have not been able to get Gaskin going at all. He came into the game with 1,606 yards. 19 TDs, averaging 6.4 yards, and just right now, 9 carries, 35 yards, and only 3.9 yards per rush. So they have stuffed that run of North Marion.
We mentioned it earlier, Gibbons shutting down American Heritage and Jesuit the last 2 weeks. Look at some stats for the key players. Their star, Chris Bogle, 5 tackles in the first half. Brody Pileggi, 7 of 10, 130 yards in the touchdown, a lot of it on that one play, but consistent.
Absolutely, completing 70% of his passes, 130 yards. Vincent Davis, he's going to get better. They're going to keep handing him that rock, and Bogle, the star defensive end, with 1,000 different offers, including Georgia State. He's got a bunch of them, Alabama and all those bad boys. He's having an outstanding game.
Yeah, we were just joking over the break. A couple of the students from the Dan Patrick School of Sportscasting up here wanted to know all the offers that Chris Bogle had, and Bogle, I should say, and we went down the list, and Georgia State right in the mix, right?
Right in the mix, hey.
I have not seen Georgia State's coach here yet, but we have seen Willie Taggart.
You never know what can happen. Willie T, you got him looking good, and he's positive about next season.
Well, Cardinal Gibbons, 17 straight points to take the lead, and the Chiefs are going to start with the football here in the second half. Unless we see an onside. They will boot it long. Return opportunity for Vincent Davis. And he has a hole. He throws down his defender, but he brought him down in the end.
He's going to kick himself, Reese, when he sees that return on film. He could have busted that one open.
Jerry Turner making the tackle. And Brody Pileggi with the first half coming back out.
Watch the hole open right now, okay? When on kickoff return, you got to hit that bad boy. Don't cut and shake. Just hit it right in that hole. He would have split that. It would have been a touchdown. He's got enough speed to do it.
He'll stay in at running back where he's done so much damage. Earlier in the game went over 1,000 yards for the season. One of the fastest backs in South Florida. And the pick commit will start the second half with a short game.
Pitt plays good football, man. In that ACC championship game, they got handled by Clemson, but historically, Pitt puts out some good running backs.
LaShawn McCoy comes to mind immediately. Curtis Martin.
Dorsett's a Pitt guy,
Yeah, he was
right?
pretty good too, right?
Yeah, that guy was all right.
Oh yeah, James Conner also doing a great job for the Pittsburgh Steelers right now. And some style points on the tackle there for Luke Rose, their big hit and safety.
Well, we've seen that they're going to defend that screen. I think that was Gilmore again with another outstanding play on the edge. That horizontal screen to receivers, it's just not working right now. I still think they're setting them up for something big over top because the corners are being so aggressive and the safeties are flying downhill into the alley. I think they're going to be primed for something to go over their head.
Indeed, it was big Papa Gilmore. Man who has 15 interceptions the last 2 years. Pileggi buys time and looks long for Davis. And he almost hauls it in, but a great play at the end to break it up by Buck Alford.
Buck Alford. That is called the scramble drill. When your quarterback leaves the pocket, everybody heads up, hits different levels. And this one, you had Davis who flies up the sideline, but Gilmore breaks that one up at the very end to prevent the touchdown.
I'll tell you what, Pileggi has a nice arm there.
Pileggi showed that arm right there, man. It was a nice throw.
So Davis, a couple near huge plays, the kick return and that pass. Instead, Cardinal Gibbons punting it back, and maybe a chance here for North Marion to get back in this game. Pride on the line for North Marion, the Cinderella of this year's NCAA tournament, or I should say FHSAA tournament. Cinderella is so overused in NCAAs, I couldn't help myself.
I knew where you were going. You're
but
good.
Last time, 1979, that a public school team made it to the state final. There have been some other teams that are private that have made runs. North Marion knew that it could play, according to Coach Alford, when they were able to hang with Vanguard in a preseason game.
I've got an interesting private school versus public school stat I want to find before the end of the broadcast. That's always been a point of contention when it comes to the state championship game. Public and private. Should they make a private school state championship? And public versus private, they're allowed to recruit, and no, that's not necessarily true, okay? But there's definitely that thin line between public and private school, and everybody likes to make that debate. I got a stat for you I'm going to try and find, Risha.
Okay. Stay tuned for that. We'll have that later in the broadcast. 2nd and 8 for North Marion. Willie Alford said, we'll play anybody, anywhere, anytime. And they did play a difficult schedule at times, but a great swarming job by the Cardinal Gibbons defense.
They just cannot get Gaskin going. They cannot get him going. The Cardinal Gibbons defense is flying around the football, 3 and 4 hats to the ball every time he gets it. And if they can't get Gaskin going, they're going to struggle because they don't have Wilshire here to throw the ball.
Chris Bogle gets all the attention, but Trevis Robinson on the other side has played just as well. He's been one of the stars today.
Got to let it go, young man. There goes the scramble drill.
And it's right on the hands of Brendan Shipp, but he can't haul it in.
Good job by Gross to stay alive, buy himself some time. Lets this one go. You see it on the screen. Perfect throw. It's going to go right through the fingertips of his guy, Brendan Shipp. And Shipp used to come down and had a big game against Trinity Christian last week. Has been big throughout the year. That one he's going to want back.
The sophomore becoming a superstar in this offense, but not on that play. So back to punt, North Marion. Kenuel Gates, their backup punter for the injured Corey Wilshire, the quarterback who went down in the first half. Gates is a University of Ohio commit and directionally kicks it out of bounds back in Gibbons territory.
All right, Reese, you ready for my stat?
You have
getting
it.
set
Okay,
up?
here we go.
I have it, okay? In 78 FHSAA state finals, private schools have defeated public schools 41-37. All right, so the record for private school versus public school is 41-37.
Wow.
Coming into 2016, it was tied 36-36.
How about that? I wouldn't have expected that.
Right. St. Thomas Aquinas is 10-7 against public schools in the state finals.
Well, Venice had that big upset, not in the state finals, but in the tournament last year. Delayed draw here. Vincent Davis doing his best with it, but the Colts were not fooled.
And at least he got positive yards, got back to the line of scrimmage, even earned some.
Cardinal Gibbons in the midst of a school record 12-game winning streak, trying to get that up to 13 and get state championship #1. Again, this offense from Coach Matt DeBuck, largely based on what Texas Tech used to do and now Washington State does under the great Mike Leach.
Mike Leach. If you ever hear Mike Leach in a press conference, he's gold. Mike Leach is extremely entertaining, extremely enlightening.
Davis up the gut, first down and more. No one's gonna stop him. 49-yard touchdown, and Cardinal Gibbons is on fire.
Daddy. Wow. Gerald Mincy, Willie Hepburn, Willie Spicer, Jamari Williams, Anthony Earl, that offensive line for Cardinal Gibbons. Opening up holes. Vincent Davis scampers through there. Man, he ran up at it like he robbed somebody. That was outstanding play, and the offensive line gets all the credit. Cardinal Gibbons starting to pull away now, which this game had great game written all over, but the complexity of it definitely changed when Wilshire went down early in the first quarter.
No blowout dead before the kick.
He was looking to go over 1,000 yards in this game, came in only 33 yards short. He's well over that now. Cardinal Gibbons looking for that state championship. Man, this crowd is rocking and rolling.
Prior to the snap, encroachment on the defense.
Well, we spoke about the adversity that Cardinal Gibbons has had at times this year, and Vincent Davis was one of those players they were missing, one of those players that got hurt in that Key West game, and he had a high ankle sprain, didn't come back until week 3, and by that point they were 0-2. They started 0-2 and have rattled off 12 straight, and now they're up by 17 points in the state final.
Wow. Let's watch this as we'll get the instant replay here and see the angle that we're going to get. Great job body on the body, but offensive lineman. You see big 61 right there. William Spicer just opened up that gap for Vincent Jackson, and he just ran through. He watched himself on the Jumbotron. You know,
That's
you don't have
isn't it?
Yeah, you don't have a Jumbotron at school, man. So when you see yourself and you start leaving the defense, it's fun to watch.
Always think of that iconic shot of Devin Hester in the Super Bowl looking up at the Jumbotron.
Yeah.
And also, sometimes it helps you see where the defender is behind you without having to look back.
Man, that's a great feeling right now, up 17.
Well, it has been a long day for Cardinal Gibbons. They decided to sleep in their own beds on Thursday night. Coach DeBuck thought that was important instead of coming here and getting a hotel room. And they were on the road by 6:45 this morning heading to Orlando. And so far that strategy has not hurt. They look sharp and they've played well. 24 straight points.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I did not know that. That's a good piece of information, but now I kind of agree with that method right there. Stay in your own bed and wake up and play ball.
Slipping and tripping and falling down there on the return. North Marion will take over. There is Nick Scalzo, who is playing, or will be playing at the University of Kentucky. Still excited about that after the injury. But tore his ACL in the regional semifinals, broke all these state records, 3-star recruit, and he's been part of this run, Preston. I mentioned it earlier. He came back in the game after the injury. They didn't know how severe it was and led the comeback win over Jones. If he doesn't do that, they're not here.
Holding on the return team. Half the distance to the goal. 1st and 10.
In all but 4 games this season, he was better than 50% completing his passes. All but 4, okay? Only had 8 interceptions this year to 24 touchdown passes. Only 1 game against MacArthur where he did not, 2 games against MacArthur and Jones where he did not throw a touchdown pass.
Really a legendary player in this program. Enjoyed his time on the Jumbotron there for a minute. They're actually filming a documentary about him, QB1 Beyond the Lights. He's one of 3 quarterbacks featured in that.
It's a good show.
And we saw him, incomplete pass. They're going to say it was out of his hands before it hit the ground. Anyway, we saw the crew today. They're down there right now getting, in fact, we can see him right now getting a shot of him on the bench.
Yeah, I know he'd rather have it some other way where he was actually playing in the game, but boy, this is going to be fitting if his team wins this ball game.
Jake Fromm and Tate Martell among the quarterbacks who have been featured in the past on QB1.
So how do you get back in this game if you're North Marion? You're struggling throwing the ball. You can't get your star running back Gaskin going. Your offensive line is not pushing around the defensive line of Gibbons at all. You're struggling to make plays on the perimeter. It's just an uphill battle right now. So I think you just got to try and chip away and hope that you pop something big. You're down 17. It's doable to come back. It looks bleak, but it's doable.
Ross high on his throw, tipped in the air, and it is intercepted. They say he caught it.
Interception by number 13,
Maywan Wright, excuse me. Got his hands up underneath this ball. Tip passes, young boys at home. Overthrow and tip passes. There you go. Yes.
Well, as well as Quentin Gross, I should say, played early on in this game after the injury to Corey Wilshire, you have to think that losing their star quarterback has made a major difference for the Colts.
It definitely made a major difference. I think the way that North Marion can try and get out the hole is instead of having him throw the ball, let him run the ball now. Because he's struggling with the ball in the air, but he is very serviceable running the football. And I think him and Gaskin can be a dual threat in the backfield if they can get him going.
Timeout, White.
Well, Matt DeBuck's team closing in on its first state championship, and as Coach DeBuck said, he and a lot of the members of his staff have ties to Cardinal Gibbons. He went there, was part of that 1990 state finalist. He's now in his 17th year at the school, and as he said, we're not a bunch of hired guns. The school means a lot to us. His wife went to school there, her mom did, his brother-in-law, and this is something that is a community feel from the coaching staff on down in this program.
I'm impressed by Cardinal Gibbons. I haven't seen them much following high school football as long as I have, but I have not seen them much. I'm extremely impressed with them on this stage. The coaching staff is very composed, and the team kind of follows how the coaching staff is. If they're erratic, then the team's going to become erratic. If they're composed, in certain situations, the team's going to be composed in certain situations. And I think that's definitely rubbing off on the team in red from the coaching staff.
They started 0-2. Now, those losses, grant you, were to Miami Central, a game they led 21-0, by the way, and Milton, Georgia, a team that's also in the state finals in a different state. But this team, since then, he said it was a turning point. They had a tale of two seasons. They had those injuries in Key West in the preseason, those 2 losses, and then all of a sudden they come back and they get a big win against Dillard, 34-12. And ever since then, this team has grown together.
Dillard is a team down south that people think, the Miami folks and the Broward County folks think, the Palm Beach County folks think there's going to be a really good team. There are folks in Dade County that thinks Miami Central is still the best team in Miami, so they will not be in the 6A state championship game against Arnwood, but that they feel they should be. So those 2 the loss to Central and then the, what was it, from Georgia?
Milton, yeah.
Milton and Georgia. That's the whole flag. Wow. He had his whole left arm. But Milton, Georgia, they're in the state championship, and then one of the arguably best team in the state of Florida, and Miami Central, who won't be here. Those are 2 big losses.
Total yards in this game, Cardinal Gibbons 251, Northern Marion 94. Thanks to Clay Schrager, our statistician extraordinaire, for that number. Gibbons went for the kill shot on the pass, might get it here with the run.
They're trying to put a nail in the coffin early.
Coleman Bennett, the junior who we've seen on kick returns with his first carry.
They are they are not letting up off the gas. Coleman Bennett trying to get him a little bit of that end zone.
Officials timeout, water break.
So Coleman Bennett moving the sticks, and Cardinal Gibbons moving the football, Preston. They have had no trouble in the second half and late in the first half getting that ball into the end zone. What's at stake here? Nothing short of a first state championship in school history for either team that comes out on top. North Marion led this game 10-3 in the first half. Since then, all Chiefs.
I'm interested to see what Cardinal Gibbons is going to bring back next year, because they seem pretty strong. And we're just talking about Coleman Bennett. He's an underclassman, 5'10", 155, and about 190 all-purpose yards this year. Kind of one of those guys going to wait their time with the talent they have already above them in the senior class. They win this state championship. They put these young guys back together, maybe make a run. Once you get at the top, it's hard to stay up there. It's hard to get to the top. It's even harder to stay at the top.
Well, think about what they had to do to get there. They had to beat American Heritage, who didn't lose a game for 2 years, twice.
Right.
Beat them twice. Last year, the only thing that may have kept Cardinal Gibbons from a state title was the loss to American Heritage in the playoffs, and that was one of the great games of all time, 58, 57, and triple overtime. Woo. That American Heritage team had the #1 and #2 cornerbacks in the whole country in the same secondary, and I don't know the exact number, but probably close to 20 Division I players, right?
They were stacked, man. American Heritage always has a bunch of dudes on their team. St. Thomas Aquinas, another team, has a bunch of dudes.
So we'll sort out the penalty.
Prior to the snap, false start on the offense. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
So that Fort Lauderdale area, those private schools, Fort Lauderdale area, they always got 5 to 8 Division I guys. I remember a couple years ago when the Bosa brothers were playing St. Thomas Aquinas, like, golly, that defensive line is just monstrous. I remember seeing Joey, Nick and Joey played together on the same team, right? And then Nick grows up. Joey's over in Ohio State. Nick grows up, and he's just seeing like, oh, my Lord, I think he may be better than his brother.
Great setup on this run play. Coleman Bennett patient and gets pushed forward to the 2-yard line. He's had 2 good runs in a row.
Yeah. Wouldn't doubt they gave it to him again. Take this laterally. Sticks his foot, tries to get upfield, stays in bounds. Wants to make something happen. Get his name in the books. Nothing like scoring a touchdown in a state championship game, I would assume. I've never done it, but I think it's a good feeling. Get up on a jumbotron, you know.
Well, as Coach DeBuck said, you never know when you'll get in this spot again. You're going to turn over every rock and do everything you can to win this game and enjoy the moment. I asked him what the atmosphere was like in school. He's like, I wouldn't know. I've been in my office, stuck in here since Friday night.
Studying, pounding away.
Looks like it's worked, although here, an issue between Bennett and Brody Pileggi.
Yeah, Pileggi's he's got to secure the snap first. That's on him as a quarterback. North Marion not out of it. I mean, it's going to feel real bad, and we may have to be singing a different tone off camera if they score here, but they're not out of it by the math of it. They can still put some points on the board if they prevent a score here.
Now it looks like they're going to need to score from farther out.
Gerald Mincy moved a little early over there, that left tackle position.
He was hurt earlier in the game, but has come in and played
Prior
very
to the
well.
snap, encroachment on the defense. Half the distance to the goal, still second down.
So maybe they can take another crack with this running attack.
Yep.
That today, 23 rushes, 155 yards, and a touchdown, averaging 6.7 per carry.
Coleman Bennett still in the game. To the left of Pileggi.
There's Bennett, and he has his touchdown. And Cardinal Gibbons has now rattled off 30 straight points.
Wow. 30 straight points in a game that we thought would come down to the wire, a nail-biter. And I think, Wilshire, him out the game just changes everything.
Matt Dubuck was very complimentary of Corey Wilshire, and it's too bad he had to go down. But what a moment for Coleman Bennett, and you mentioned all the guys coming back. He's going to be one of them.
Yeah.
And with Vincent Davis in Pittsburgh eating Permane sandwiches, he's going to be the guy that's probably the go-to running back next year.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And it's good to get the young guys involved in the state championship game. We've said this before in another broadcast, Rishi, that you want them to experience this stage, get them involved in the stage, just not be here on the sideline being cheerleaders.
Prior to the snap, illegal procedure, false start on the offense.
But you want
try.
You want them active, you want them active in the game so they can know how to respond to it and know to get past the adversity and be at this stage.
Dayton Montiel, young man who many think will punt in college. He's both the punter and kicker, has been excellent putting it through the uprights this season. Came in 7 of 9 on field goals, 45 of 48 on extra points, and he's added to those numbers in both categories today.
You'll be home in 30 minutes. 20 times.
Well,
We might need to turn that mic off soon.
You hear the same audio. They're having a good time. Just a little bit on Scalzo, man. About Kentucky honoring that offer when to get this touchdown again right here by Coleman. Almost walks in the end zone. Has some footwork behind the offensive line. That big old
At the end of the play,
he has.
personal foul on the kicking team. That'll be administered on the kickoff, 15-yard.
When a school offers a prospect like Scalzo and he's healthy and throwing the ball around and he gets hurt, they're not required to honor that verbal scholarship. So by them doing that, it's they think that he'll be fine injury-wise, and also it looks good on them. And obviously he does come back 100% and he does good things for Kentucky, then it all makes sense. But a school is not required to honor a verbal scholarship if they don't want to. Now, let's just say he did get hurt. Let's just say they fell off of him recruiting-wise. They could pull a scholarship. It doesn't sound good. It's not the right thing to do, but I'm glad they did honor a scholarship even though he was injured.
He's been on the sideline. You see him right now pumping up the crowd with his crutches. He's loving this. I know he'd rather be on the field. He's actually rolling around with his crutches on the sideline, getting everybody going on right now. Fun to watch. 24-point lead. It's still a 3-possession game. And that penalty will give North Marion a chance to return this kick. They've done that well this year. Great field position on the fair catch. Jaree Turner making it, and Preston, if you can get in the end zone here, get a 2-point conversion, it's a 2-possession game. So not quite done yet.
Not quite done at all. The issue is they haven't been able to move the football.
That could be a problem.
They've been, Cardinal Gibbons defense is pinning their ears back and getting upfield. If you look at big number 71 in the middle of the defense for Cardinal Gibbons, Jordan Johnson is just a man amongst boys. They haven't been able to push him around at all.
These Chiefs fans are getting loud. They're waving their pom-poms. They want that first state championship. Quentin Gross played really well when he first came into the game, but that defensive line has given him fits since and does so again here. And guess who?
Guess who?
Travis Robinson.
Yep.
Flag on the play.
Travis Robinson's been all over the field.
I might put 5 stars next to his name
That's
after
fine
this
with me.
game. The way that he's played, Chris Bogle has done his thing too, but Robinson, the player who stood out on the defensive line.
Chop block on the offense, 15-yard penalty, repeat first down.
Well, Robinson's got 5 tackles, 1 for loss, 1 sack, but he's been in the camera a lot because he's done a lot of stuff that doesn't go on the stat sheet. He's been around the football. Even though he may not get the solo or the assistant, he's been around the football helping other guys pad their stats. Outstanding game day for him.
Quick hitter. Papa Gilmore was really good early in the game, but we haven't heard much from him recently, on offense at least.
They've been trying to get that lateral screen either outside in or inside out going, and it hasn't been very successful. That's the most success they've had on a lateral pass today. Papa Gilmore, and he's been kind of quiet this second half.
In that win in the semis, 33-yard kick return against Trinity Christian, escaping 3 tacklers, leading to that game-winning drive in the final seconds. That was all Papa. Ross gets rid of it quickly again. This time Brendan Shipp does make the catch and somehow stays on his feet. Finally brought down at the 47.
Yeah, Bruck's gonna advance to 7 completions on 12 attempts. Before that, he just had 19 yards, and you see why the numbers are so low, because he's throwing the ball to his left and to his right, not going upfield, and the receivers aren't gaining much ground either. So right now, the quarterback's 19 yards deep or 22 yards deep. Your star running back, Gaskins, 10 carries for only 40 yards. You don't have much going offensively. Nobody else is really doing much. So you're struggling on offense, and you can't stop them on defense, though. Oh, man, it's going to be tough for North Marion here.
Just need one big play, though. 3rd and 11. Ross throws complete. There is a flag on the play, but excellent reception made by Papa Gilmore. 2 flags down.
Tim Mickens holding his hands up. They think it's on him. See if we can get a number. They usually give the sideline a jersey number of the player that committed the penalty or the foul.
Holding on the offense, 10-yard penalty, repeat 3rd down.
And that's going to take away a completion they have to keep moving upfield. Some positive yardage. We haven't seen that out of North Marion this half. It's positive yardage.
Definitely the best throw that we've seen from Gross.
Right.
So 3rd and 22 now to attempt to convert, with Chris Bogle and Travis Robinson coming at you.
Screen.
Set up very well. But what pursuit from behind by Robinson.
Trying to get the ball to Papa Gilmore. One of the most diverse players on their team. They tried to leak him out on the screen play. You saw him fake like he was going to block. Step up right here in the hole, fake like he was going to block, and then leak out to the left. Not a bad touch pass by the quarterback. Good blocking downfield by his wide receiver, Brendan Shipp. Just not enough yards to keep the change moving. Now we got 4th down, he's got to punt.
By the time we get done with this game, Robinson might have 100 tackles.
Okay.
Gates does his job. Now it's time for North Marion's D to get a stop. It's almost lights out at this point.
3rd quarter, and just under 3 minutes left. A heavy dose of number 5. Mr. Davis, Vincent Davis, give him the ball. Let him take some out of his clock, take a few chunks out of his clock. He's played extremely well. It looks like they're putting him 10 back in the game. Davis' day may be done. This may be Coleman the rest of the afternoon.
Well, if his day is done, a great day. 12 carries, 88 yards, a touchdown, 7.3 yards per rush.
Feels like I had a bigger day, though, right? Does it feel like you have a bigger day than just 80 yards?
Yeah. Well, there's one of the other heroes today who had the big touchdown to break things open, Jake Harrington, another reception. Excuse me. Noah Hart on the reception, 88, not 86. Here's Trey Davis, the senior captain, 3-year starter, 142 tackles. Need to make some plays here to try to get back in this.
It's no secret. Coleman
Close to
Bennett.
a first down.
Yep. Give it to him. Give it to him.
Actually, Davis is back in, yeah. Maybe he wants his 100 yards. He already got his 1,000.
I'm going to plead the coach. Oh, hey, coach, I got 88, 89 yards, man. Give me a few totes. Let me get 100. Let me get triple digits.
Definitely don't need to rest him for next week. And Gibbons more than happy to milk the clock at this point.
Who's been your favorite player so far?
I'd have to say, without a doubt, Travis Robinson.
Okay.
He has been electric. You? Pileggi, wisely sliding, flag at the end of the play.
I think I'm tied with Davis because even though it felt like he had a bigger game, the plays that he did make were in crucial moments. I take the impact of it. But then Harrington came up big when we didn't think he was going to make those type of plays. We thought it would be one of the other wide receivers who had more yards and more catches, but Harrington came up huge.
And I don't think we could undersell anymore the play of Brody Pileggi. You've got a backup quarterback back-to-back weeks, shutting down American Heritage. They scored enough points to win in a game that Coach DeBuck said he was very good, very composed.
10-yard penalty on the offense. Repeat first down.
The next game against Jesuit, DeBuck said he was more sophomore-ish in that game, but he did enough to win. The defense did the rest.
Okay.
And now in this game, he's made a number of plays against North Marion.
So with that information that you just told me, I would say that I would not have expected him to play so well on this stage. He's been up and down. He's shown his age, coach says, at times. But this game right here, he looks very veteran.
Davis, the tough yards to the 43. And again, Pileggi, his father went to Aquinas. His brother went to Aquinas. I'm guessing he probably could have, but he chose to come here. And as a sophomore, about to win the first state championship in school history, that probably means a lot more to the community at Cardinal Gibbons than Aquinas, where they churn him out every year.
Man, and Matt Flint, what'd you call him, quarterback for the Eagles last year?
Oh, Nick Foles.
Nick Foles,
yeah.
No, Nick Foles. This is a Nick Foles moment.
Well, he's executed just as well as Nick Foles. And showing that he does have that athletic ability.
Look at that.
Got the first down before sliding.
Look at that. And tried to stay in bounds to keep the clock running. Before that run, he had 6 carries for 26 yards. Tack on plenty more there. Also 9 for 14, 132 and a touch. Looking very veteran-ish. Looked like he started the full season right there. Heads up play. Football IQ. Taking care of the ball today. .30 seconds left here in this third quarter of the 5A state championship game. Rishi Barron with Preston Jackson here at Camping World Stadium. Cardinal Gibbons has scored the last 31 points after trailing 10-3. North Marion without injured starting quarterback Corey Wilshire. Another smart decision, just to throw it away. Didn't have anything downfield. Offensive line bought up time. He danced around a little bit. Just throw it away instead of taking a sack. Probably going to get an unsportsmanlike and sideline warning on North Marion here with the flags flying. You've seen some
extracurricular
Sideline warning
activities.
on the white team. No penalty enforcement. That's our first warning.
But with that, it's been it had some moments, little chippiness, but it's been fairly clean, to tell you the truth. A lot of respect on the field for both programs. The teams, the players have shown each other that. You would expect a little bit of trash talk and, a couple cheap shots every now and then, but they've been pretty clean. Refs have done a good job since the start of the game.
Amazing to see how far this Gibbons program has resurrected itself the last couple of years. Hadn't made the postseason since 2011 before last year, and now a quarter away from a state championship. Great play on defense by Nate Positive Ion for North Marion to end the third, but a lot of work to be done in the fourth for the Colts. It's looking great for Brody Pileggi and the Chiefs. They're up 34-10 as we head to the final quarter. We'll be right back after this to bring you to the finish line. We start the fourth quarter here in the Class 5A state championship game, and at this point, the only question left to be answered may be, what time is Mike Leach going to text Matt DeBuck, the head coach of Cardinal Gibbons? The other night it was at 3 a.m. to see who they were playing. What will Mike Leach do from Pullman to find out if he actually want to know?
He knows. He's got somebody tapped in. He's got eyes on this game. He knows.
Pass downfield, knocked away. The flag thrown on the coverage by Papa Gilmore. Pass was incomplete, intended for Chris Benestad.
He knew where he wanted to go with this ball. He got there a little bit early. Papa Gilmore a little bit early. He knows that DBs know when we're not in a good position. We know we got the foul.
Pass interference on the defense. 15-yard penalty, first down.
When a DB always knows when he gets up, he's gonna look at the ref. That's when he knows he's gonna get a foul, because he knows he's wrong.
Gibbons trying to put this one out of reach. Still a 3-possession game at this point. Pileggi just continues to buy time, and even when he gets hit hard, he goes forward 3 yards.
Say Pileggi dancing around a little bit like it's prom night. Cuts back. Takes the big hit from the backside by Nate Ion, but at the same time, he still picked up positive yardage.
He might be a small kid, but he's certainly a tough kid.
He's tough. Can't measure his heart. And the old saying, it's not the size of the dog, but it's the fight.
No one happier for him than Nick Scalzo, the starting quarterback of this team who was injured a couple of weeks ago. There's Davis. He's got to be close to his 100 yards now. We'll have our statistician Clay Schrager check on that. Yes, he is. So there you go. He's got his 100. He's got his touch. He's got his 1,000. And soon he's going to have a state title.
Yeah, he's got a fantastic ball game. And check this stat out, is our assistants up here from the Dan Patrick School of Broadcasting helped us out. Since the first half, North Marion with just 28 total yards since the first half.
Wow.
Ended the half at 89. They're at 117 now. The math hasn't been a good second half for North Marion at all on the offensive side of the ball.
That's Dijon Sr. with the reception. A senior he is, senior. The senior with a 4-yard gain. Second down coming up for Cardinal Gibbons.
.200 rush yards on the ground for Cardinal Gibbons.
Wow.
And, Vincent Davis, 111, and then the quarterback, Pileggi has 42, and then Coleman Bennett has chipped in some with 39 rushing yards, and Tajay Davis has 11. 200 total rushing yards as a team for Cardinal Gibbons.
Pileggi keeping, and the sophomore has himself his own touchdown. Gives the Michael Jordan shrug as he celebrates with teammates.
Put him to sleep.
Definitely doesn't lack confidence.
Yeah, man, he gets out of his pocket. He thinks he has enough speed to get to the corner. You're going to see a big block right here by number 3, Chris Benestad. He springs the quarterback open. Look at him, nice and composed. Yeah. Yeah, you like it. You like it out the young boy. You like it out the young boy.
He's going to be the starter next year, and he'll be back with a strong team, looking more and more like as a defending state champion.
Well, what was a highly anticipated game coming in with two teams that well balanced offensively, good running backs, good quarterbacks, has taken a turn for the worse for North Marion.
Well, the stats may not be superhuman, 138 pass yards, all those rush yards, the 2 total touchdowns, but his impact has been great, and he got a big hug there from Nick Scalzo after this.
Yeah, that middle popped open, and he's got some pressure in his face, and instead of throwing it away, he dives for the pylon, he gets in it.
The kick is good. After the play, personal foul on the kicking team. There'll be a 15-yard penalty administered on the kickoff.
Can't say enough about how this young man has played the last 2.5 weeks. We're getting to see him live online as our folks at home or on your mobile device, and I'm sure you're just as impressed as I am. But he's played very smart football. He's been very composed. He's impressed me with how he's handled the pressure. Very even-keeled young man. Very even-keeled young man.
It's the 4th time this year that Cardinal Gibbons has eclipsed the 40-point mark. But none of that really matters to the team. What matters is the fact that they're about to take home their first state championship ever at their school for football.
Wow. They usually have a pretty good basketball program. Seen them in the state championship in Lakeland a few times.
Chip.
Yep.
Taken down. What excellent work in pursuit. Tackle made there by Yahweh Judy, and look at these prospects. It's no secret that Cardinal Gibbons is here and about to win. How about that pipeline?
Sidney Porter's a guy, number 8, that we have seen today in the secondary, made a bunch of tackles, made a beautiful interception that got called back. I've been impressed with Vincent Davis, the running back. He's over 100 yards now, and obviously we know about the quarterback, the QB1. Willie Hepburn, a 3-star defensive tackle. He's huge, a big old mammoth of a human being. They have a bunch of dudes, and you see the rank, their state ranking. You see all the college interest that they're giving Cardinal Gibbons. Stating their claim as one of the best programs in the state here.
They've done it today with their backup quarterback, who does not look like a backup quarterback, in Brody Pileggi.
Not at all. The way Brody has played today, he could be a starting quarterback anywhere in our region, at the very least. He has done a tremendous job handling the pressure. He's orchestrated the offense. He's moved the ball up the field. He's made smart plays, hasn't put his team in difficult positions.
Yahweh Judy with back-to-back tackles for Cardinal Gibbons, 1 on special teams, 1 on defense. Committed to Kansas State. We'll see if he still is after the Bill Snyder retirement. But hey, why don't we just add to the stats of Travis Robinson?
Guess who, Travis?
Now, if you came here to watch Bogle and you saw him and you were a college football coach, what would you think?
Let me write this man's information down. Let me see if I can talk to his head coach after the ball game, because at this point in time, I need to be recruiting him. If I didn't know about him.
He is down right now. But what a game he has had.
possibly a shoulder. Hopefully it's not too serious. But going back to Pileggi, you know, if you're his coach, you want to win this game. Obviously, you're going to win this game, but you're extremely excited about what you may have coming back. A lot of teams don't even have a quarterback. Now you have a sophomore quarterback to help win the state championship, and he's coming back next year, and he's only a sophomore. Woo! You're licking your chops.
We just saw the stats for Travis Robinson. It's hard to believe that he only has 6 tackles in this game. I would have thought 16.
Yeah, but
with how much we've called his name.
He's been everywhere. He's been around the ball. Even though he hasn't made the tackles himself, he's been around the football, and he's been active throughout the whole ball game.
Getting ready to celebrate in Lauderdale. A very good contingency of fans making the trip here and enjoying it. Incomplete pass there. We'll bring up 4th down.
Yeah, North Marion has almost all but thrown in the white towel. I think Cardinal Gibbons wants some more. They can hang another one on, they will.
Well, as Coach DeBuck said, you never know when you're getting another chance at this, and certainly we'll be sportsmanlike about it, but at the same time, you got to have some fun with this.
One more touchdown, the clock's running on anyway, so running clock rule will be into effect. 35-point spread, it goes in automatically.
Coach DeBuck estimated up to 6 fan buses would make the trip. Looks like that's possible with all the fans we're seeing in the stands. Got to give them something to enjoy here from Fort Lauderdale.
Well, the trip would be eventful. It'll be absolutely, it'll be fun now. They're going to rock and roll on Cardinal Gibbons bus down south.
6 assistants on this staff played at Gibbons, including Coach DeBuck. We got some texts from his former teammates. Again, the only other time the Chiefs were in the state final back in 1990, they came and they got beat by 30 points to Live Oak Sewanee, and Coach DeBuck was on that team. And it wasn't a great memory, but former teammates had been coaching or had been texting him all week saying, finish the job, finish the job, and it appears they will do just that. New quarterback in the game for Gibbons, Freeman. A 140-pound junior, Jordan Freeman.
Freeman in there with Davis. Now, do you take Davis out of the game? You got this stowed up. Or, now, get back in the huddle, son. What are you going to be doing? Get in the huddle.
Well,
You're up.
And once I see that, I'm taking him out, right?
Get in. You know, they're going to, you don't want anything happen over anything stupid and silly.
So a chance for Jordan Freeman. I'm going to guess that 3 weeks ago he thought there was no chance he'd be playing quarterback here, and the chippiness that we thought might come back at some point has found its way into the game.
Cardinal Gibbons, get him out. There you go, coach. Get 5 out the game. Get 5 out the game. His night is done. He's done his job. He had a great game as a senior year. Pull him out before anything else happens.
Well, he's taunting the North Marion sideline right now, and that was all that the coaching staff needed to take him out of the game. Coleman coming back in for him. Coleman Bennett.
Now, let me show you what just happened. Coach sent Coleman in the game to go get Davis. Coleman's the underclassman. Davis is senior.
Prior to the snap, personal foul on the white team. 15-yard penalty. First down.
Davis sent Coleman back to the sideline and is thinking, this is my last game. I'm not coming out of the ball game. That's exactly what just happened. And you see 5 still in the ball game when coach sent 10 in to go get him out.
It's hard to miss 5 because he keeps moving his hands up and down. He is certainly enjoying the moment. He's even patting refs on the back. You don't see that too often.
Ref telling him to calm down. They know he was part of the excitement of that slight debacle that just happened.
Matt DeBuck was a really good wide receiver at Texas Tech, ended up playing in the CFL, won a Grey Cup with Doug Flutie in the Argonauts, I believe.
Doug Flutie.
Kind of your Wes Welker, Danny Amendola type as a receiver. Tough guy, and that toughness shows in this team, and We have our first completion from Jordan Freeman. And he connects to a man we've seen here and there today, Chris Benestad, who's getting his money's worth as a senior.
And good for Freeman. He's a junior. Sophomore is starting, and he's a junior. And so more than likely, obviously, the sophomore quarterback will be a junior next year, will be a starter, and he'll be his backup as a senior. But he's getting some run right now. He'll be a state champion. And not everybody's built to be the starter. Some guys have it and some guys don't, but at least you stick around and you fight through and show some fortitude, go through the hard times. Oh.
Well, Davis is not done running.
That Vincent Davis, those moves right there in the hole reminded me of a Mark Davis who played at Booker T. Washington, now with the Cincinnati Bengals, I believe. Mark Walton, who's with the Cincinnati Bengals, I believe. And he showed some fancy footwork here in Orlando a few years when Booker T was making their state championship runs every year.
Well, Cardinal Gibbons about to win its 13th straight game. The motto for this year was #1815. What that meant was the year, go ahead.
Which is what I was asking you what it would mean.
Yeah, the year 2018 with 15 wins, right? That's what it meant.
Okay.
Now, they're not going to get to 15. They'll have 13, but I think everyone will be fine with that. Maybe they'll change it to 13 or 1813 now, right?
Doesn't matter. Change the hashtag, baby. I think you'll be fine with it.
I don't know who was president in 1813, but maybe just kind of be subtle with it.
Don't get me the line. I have no idea either.
Probably like, I don't know, James Monroe. #James Monroe. Wow, we actually have confirmation. It was not far off. James Madison is what we're getting from the truck.
Man, that's what I'm talking about. That's what
we're going to get Clay Schrager on that. 1813, who is president of the United States. Anyway, as you can tell, the score is 41-10, and Davis is still running. James Madison is correct.
Positive ion has been in the last 3 personal foul incidents that have gone on in this quarter. 14's been around all of them. Him and Davis have gone back and forth. We just saw him getting in, they mixing up with a few guys on Cardinal Gibbons on the hash.
At the end of the play, personal foul, 15-yard penalty on the white team.
Well, positive ion is out after the negative decision.
It was away from the play.
That brings up first down.
I mean, it wouldn't matter if it was at the play, but this was far away from the play, and now we got another flag.
So at what point, if you're Gibbons, you just take all your starters out?
In my estimation, they should have been out. As many as I could pull and still be okay offensively, I would have been pulled them.
Several appear to be out. I'm going to take a quick look and try to figure it all out.
But to defend Cardinal Gibbons, I'm going to get the white hat with the call here.
Prior to the snap, unsportsmanlike on the white team. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
To be fair, I think Davis is the only starter left in the game now that I'm looking around the field.
And also, I don't think that it would matter. What's happening right now is just North Marion showing frustration. So I don't think it would matter if there were starters in or not. They're going to react no matter what team, no matter who in red was across from them. They're just showing frustration at this point in time. Not that it's right, but that's just what's happening.
Cardinal Gibbons season high, 53 points in a win over Coconut Creek. Incomplete, looking for the end zone.
Yeah. Got away with a little bump.
TJ Gordon.
Got away with a little bump. And you see Cardinal Gibbons is trying to put one more on the board now. The coaches don't care. It's like, man, look, you all going to get all these personal fouls against our dude. We'll just hang another one up on you. The score is going to hurt you more than something physical will.
Well, what a run it has been for North Marion. Not the ending they were looking for, but a 3-7 team last year. And there is Davis with another touchdown.
Got a flag down over there. Looks like the touchdown's going to stand, and they're going to wind this clock. I just saw the white hat say wind it. Touchdown should stand here. Running clock in effect. Davis doing what Davis has done. Running downhill, get the ball across the goal line and 4 yards out, and that's easy money.
After the score, there's a personal foul, face mask on the defense. That's going to be administered on the kickoff.
Nice round numbers to end the day for Davis. 20 rushes, 130
Penalty
yards.
is on red. Excuse me.
And 2 touchdowns. And Clay Schrager has just handed me a stat. Since 2010, this is the second most points in a Class 5A state championship game since, guess who it was? Guess who had the most points since 2010 in a 5A title game?
Booker T. Washington.
Incorrect. We have mentioned this team today in our broadcast. That's my clue for you.
St. Thomas Aquinas.
Incorrect.
All right, I'm done.
American Heritage.
What was that score?
66 to something. I don't have the final score. So, but let's take a look at a replay of the touchdown.
Officials timeout, water break.
Vincent Davis, 37 net yards at halftime. What he ended up with? 130 yards. We knew that he was going to get better, like fine wine, get better with time. Keep giving him the ball. Second half, he was going to explode. More and more. The more you fed him, the better he got. The more you fed him, the better he got. And that he did. Remember, just 37 net yards at the half for Vincent Davis. Probably going to end the game for him. End the game with 130 yards. There you go. The recipe for success.
Hard to believe at one point North Marion led this game 10-3. So they're having some fun on the sidelines. But 45 consecutive points later, it's a blowout in the favor of the Chiefs. By the way, I do have an answer to who American Heritage beat. 66-8 against Clay.
Say what year? I was going to ask what year that was.
Ironically handed to me by a statistician named Clay.
And I believe that same year, I think Clay started off the season either like 1-4, maybe 0-4.
Well, I tell you what, I don't mean to pile it on for North Marion, but you know things aren't going well when your mascot is falling down and his head is falling off. So. He lost his head.
He lost his cool.
He lost his head, according to producer Chris Coley. Big return here for the Colts. It's Brendan Shipp. And uh-oh, things are getting ugly and punches are being thrown.
It was headed in that direction. It was headed in that direction.
And another flag comes out at Nate Ion here. But on the other sideline, just a lot of celebration. You see that shirt, blast from the past. Huh.
Wow.
Well, technically the alphabet has more W's than, well, I guess not. I was thinking letters. I was going to say more letters than Cardinal Gibbons.
Here's a tackle.
By the way, the tackle by the kicker.
And there's the kicker. That's not good. And now he's going to put his hands up like he didn't do anything. Absolutely amazing. Now they got to take notes and numbers and jersey numbers, because if they're underclassmen, they, first of all,
the good news, yeah, is the clock continues to run here.
Clock's going to run.
So that might be the end of the game, for all we know, by the time they sort this out, which probably wouldn't be a bad decision on the part of the officials.
That American Heritage game Just going back to that trivia, you had me thinking now. So I think that was the year Sonny Michel played on that team.
That sounds right. It was the Mike Rumpf led American Heritage team. I think it was Sonny Michel.
All right. Sonny Michel. There's a returner who also went to Georgia that played on that team. Man, there were some good players. What year was that, Rishi?
Let's see. 2013.
At the end of the play, they were offsetting personal fouls on each team.
Now we have a Gatorade bucket on the field after.
There was an unsportsmanlike on the white team. The second unsportsmanlike on the same player, there's an ejection. 15-yard penalty, first down.
Well, it's just too bad that it has to end this way for North Marion after just a remarkable season. A lot of players transferred out that 3-7 year, and they come up, they knock off the team everyone thought might win it in Trinity Christian last round. They have that unbelievable block field goal victory against Nature Coast Tech, and then their starting quarterback goes down in this game while they were on top. Next thing you know, 38-point loss and a little bit of chaos at the end.
Yeah, you took two black eyes here now, because not only did you lose the battle on the field after an amazing season, you also basically lost the fight, too, that you tried to start, okay? So now you get an ejection out. It just looks ugly on the team. The whole look-up was just bad. You got your butt kicked and you look bad on the field for all the penalties. How the game ended, it was not a good look for North Marion to finish the game, and I'm sure the coaches are going to have a stern talking to those seniors and underclassmen who were involved in that chaos.
I'm a little surprised that the referees are spotting the ball with 25 seconds left. I think they'll do everything they can to make sure there isn't another snap here. But
you know what? I think they kind of did.
Yeah.
You know,
there's another flag, so that'll do it.
I think they kind of did. Well, they're gonna flag the sideline because the celebration was early and on the field. But the clock still runs.
Sideline warning on the red team. No yardage.
The Buck got the bath.
I think we've seen about 4 coaches dumped with Gatorade buckets during that time. That one for Coach Matt DeBuck. And that'll do it. The Chiefs have conquered state champs in Class 5A, a first in school history.
Congratulations to them. That's a lot of fun. You can tell by the reaction that they have not been here before. and you want the natural reaction. You want them to have this type of fun. Look at the kids. The kids are jumping out onto the field. They're storming the field from the sideline. This could be an interesting handshake, man. I don't know if I would do it.
The drama has not ended just yet.
I don't know if I would do it. I think as coaching staff, I meet in the middle and say, hey, Coach, congratulations, and let's just not shake hands. But since you're on this stage and the FHSAA is definitely going to promote sportsmanship, I guess they're going to have to. But I don't know if it's going to be over.
Well, credit to both teams for at least lining up to do it. So far, it has been very orderly. Preston, your thoughts on this game? Let's start with the defense for Cardinal Gibbons. This game turned around when the defensive line took over. Yes,
they did. The defense of Cardinal Gibbons was stout. I thought that Bogle led the charge, and the big guys in the middle, Jordan Johnson and then 42, Travis Robinson, were outstanding in the middle. I thought once they neutralized the running game of Gadsden, the guy who came in with 6.9 yards per rush, he just could not get going at all. That changed the whole complexity of the game, at least on the defensive side.
Then there's the sophomore quarterback who 2.5 games ago was the backup, and now he's led his team to wins over 2-time defending state champ American Heritage, Jesuit, and now North Marion for a state title. What more could you ask for from the young man?
And you're like, what am I really expecting of him? I just don't lose the game for us. Not only did he not lose the game, he may be the game's MVP on the offensive side of the ball. He may be the MVP. He played an outstanding game. I'm going to pull up his final stats when we're talking here, Reese. But I think that because they were confident in the game plan with him, that's what allowed him to open up his playbook and really take charge of his ball game.
48-10, your score here. Remember, this was a Cardinal Gibbons team that started the season 0-2, had to deal with adversity in the postseason, losing its starting quarterback, was without big-time recruit Chris Bogle for 6 games, and here they are, 48-10 winners over North Marion. Preston, what impressed you most about the performance by the Chiefs?
I'm just going to go back to the quarterback. Remember I said before that he was just average at halftime, but the impact plays that he had, and let me just shoot these stats at you. He was 10 of 16 for 138 yards through the air. But then on the ground, he followed that up with 9 rushes for 48 yards and a key touchdown. 1 touchdown through the air, 1 touchdown on the ground. And I think both of those touchdowns were crucial at their given time. So the young quarterback playing as composed as he was, the young quarterback leading his team, I think was the most impressive part of Cardinal Gibbons winning the state championship. And it's fitting that the way they did it, the last 2 games of the season, and we know how good Jesuit is, and we know how good this North Marion team was. He played, he rose to the level. He was the biggest man on the biggest stage today and one of the youngest kids on the field.
Matt DeBuck and the other members of the team, the coaching staff who were part of that 1990 team and all those former players, they finally can rest easy tonight because now, in their second opportunity, Cardinal Gibbons, a state champ, and also want to point out Athletic Director Mike Morrill, the longtime coach here. He's still the athletic director here and part of this celebration as well. So that's going to do it for here at Camping World Stadium. Remember, we have one more game coming up later. It'll be St. Thomas Aquinas and Lakeland. Whoa, how do you beat that for a nightcapper?
You don't.
For our entire Spectrum Sports crew, including producer Chris McCulley, Preston Jackson, and all the rest, I'm Rishi Barron saying so long from here at Camping World Stadium. We will have the Meadows ceremony for you, but that's it for us in the booth. Enjoy your night.
Congratulations to Coach Stopford and the captains from North Marion. Ladies and gentlemen, finishing the season with 12 wins and 3 losses. Let's hear it for the 2018 Class 5A state runner-up team, North Marion Colts. Team, let's hear it for the Cardinal Gibbons Chiefs. And on the platform is the head coach, Mr. Matt DeBuck. And joining him are the captains, number 2, Nick Scalzo, number 7, Chris Bogle, number 8, Sidney Porter, and number 53, Yawa Judy. Championship trophy, finishing the season with 13 wins and 2 losses. Let's hear it for your Class 5A state champions, Cardinal Gibbons Chiefs.